What is our purpose? I mean, really, what are we all doing here? Are we just here to survive, or is there something more? Well, today we're going to dive deep into that question, getting some incredible answers from a Persian philosopher who was thinking about this stuff 1,000 years ago. Let's get right into it. This is it, isn't it? The big one. The question that probably keeps a lot of us up at night. Are we just complex animals, driven by our basic wants and needs? Food, safety, comfort. Or is there some higher calling, something bigger than our biology that we're supposed to be chasing? It's a huge puzzle, and we're going to try to piece it together.
To find a really compelling answer, we're going to travel way back in time, all the way back to the 11th century, and into the mind of an amazing Persian philosopher, Nasir Khusraw. Now, he didn't just think about this question casually. He built an entire system, a whole view of the cosmos, just to explain our unique place in it all.
Okay, so to even begin to understand our purpose, Khusraw says, hold on, we first got to understand the basic building blocks of reality itself. For him, the entire universe, everything you see and touch, is made from a combination of just two fundamental things, form and matter. So that first ingredient he called Heil, and he was borrowing that term from Greek philosophy. The best way to think about Heil is, well, it's pure potential. It's the formless, raw stuff of the universe before it becomes anything at all. Imagine a giant block of marble just sitting there before a sculptor has even had an idea, or a lump of clay on the table. It has the potential to be anything, but right now it's just stuff. That's Heil. Now, if this sounds a little familiar, you're not wrong. Khusraw was definitely in conversation with the great Greek philosophers, especially Plato. You might remember Plato's whole idea of a perfect, heavenly world of forms, like a place where the perfect idea of a chair or a tree exists. And our world, he thought, was just a bunch of flawed, shadow copies of those perfect ideas. But here's Khusraw's crucial twist. For him, the divine form isn't often some other dimension. Nope, it's an active force, right here, that impresses itself onto the raw hylae to create the very world we're living in. Okay, so we've got our ingredients, form plus matter. But how does it all, happen? How does formless stuff get turned into stars and planets and people? To explain this, Khusraw grabbed another amazing tool from the ancient Greeks, this time from Aristotle, the brilliant idea of the four causes. Aristotle's idea was that to really truly understand a thing, you have to ask four specific questions about it. Let's use a statue, for example. The material cause is the stuff it's made of, the marble. The efficient cause is the person who made it, the sculptor. The instrumental cause is the tools they used, the hammer and chisel. And finally, the final cause, and this is the most important one, is its purpose. Why was it made? To be a beautiful work of art. So Khusraw takes this amazing framework and just applies it to, well, everything, the whole cosmos. For him, the material cause is Heil, that raw stuff. The sculptor, the efficient cause, is this grand concept he calls the universal soul. The tools that soul uses, the instrumental cause, are the heavens and the stars, constantly shaping and forming reality. But what about that last one, the final cause, the big why? What's the ultimate purpose of all of this? Well, according to Khusraw, that's the one thing that's a total mystery to us. It's hidden. All right, we've got the big cosmic picture. Now Khusraw zooms right in, focusing on life here on Earth. And this is where his argument about us, about humanity, gets really, really interesting. He draws this sharp, bright line between humans and every other animal. For Khusraw, the animal soul is pretty straightforward. It's run by two main engines: desire, which is the force that makes it want things, and anger, which is the force that makes it resist things. And the goals of these forces are always, always physical. An animal feels satisfied when it gets food, when it finds water, when it mates, when it wins a fight. Its entire world, its entire purpose, is fulfilled right here in the material world. So Khusraw concludes, its destiny, its ultimate return, is just back to that physical realm. But then there's us, humans. We're different. We've got all that animal stuff for sure. We get hungry, we get angry, but, he argues, we have these two extra, almost superpowers. We have reason, the ability to understand abstract ideas, to think about things like justice or love, and we have speech, the ability to share those ideas. And here's the absolute kicker. The purpose of these faculties isn't physical at all. You can't satisfy your hunger for knowledge with a sandwich. You can't quench your thirst for truth with a glass of water. Their satisfaction exists in a completely different, non-physical realm. And if you follow that logic, it leads to a really powerful, really profound conclusion about where we're all ultimately headed. If our highest, most unique human qualities have a purpose that goes beyond the physical world, then our final destination, well, it has to be beyond the physical world too. This is Khusraw's mic drop moment, really. He puts it so simply and elegantly. Since we are made of both body and soul, and since the purpose of that soul isn't found in the physical world, then its ultimate return can't be to the physical world. Our body, yeah, it returns to the earth. But our soul, it's destined to return to that spiritual world of ideas and truth that it came from. It's a really compelling idea, right? A beautiful, logical argument for a spiritual destiny. But is it the only way to look at it? Not by a long shot. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear what you think. Your support really means a lot and helps me keep creating content for you all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, in the centuries since Khusraw, philosophy has come up with a very strong, very different answer to this question of human purpose.
And this slide really lays out one of the biggest divides in all of philosophy. On one side, you have Khusraw, who says our purpose is to rise above our physical bodies, to transcend our instincts, and aim for a spiritual homecoming. And then, on the other side, you have a philosopher like Friedrich Nietzsche, who comes along centuries later and says the complete opposite. He argues our purpose is to dive deeper into our earthly life, to embrace our bodies, our instincts, our will to power, and to become the master of this world, what he famously called the Übermensch, or the Overman. And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Where should we be looking for our purpose? Should we be looking up towards a transcendent spiritual world like Nasir Khusraw suggested? Or should we be looking down and inward to fully embrace and master the powerful, messy, beautiful physical world that we inhabit right here, right now? The answer you choose doesn't just shape what you think, it shapes how you live your entire life.